How would you like it if I could take the hardest movement in Tai Chi and made it one of the easiest? If you've been thinking that Fair Lady Works Shuttles is one of the hardest movements in Tai Chi, you're right. And today, I'm going to make it easy. So, if you'd like to see how that works, stick around. Hi everybody, it's David-Dorian Ross and welcome to another episode of Learn Tai Chi at Home. It's day number 58 of 100 Days of Tai Chi, the video series where you're learning the traditional Yang family long form of 103 movements. And today we're on movement number 62 because it's a long one. In fact, it is the most complicated movement in the whole routine. Now, if this is your first time to this channel and you're just watching me just say this is the most complicated movement of the whole routine, don't worry. I'm going to put a link up here to the first time that we did this movement. And today I'm going to simplify the movement. But before we do that, let me just say that if you're a beginner who's looking to learn Tai Chi at home, and in particular, if you want to learn Tai Chi because you want to gain better health or live longer, feeling younger, find inner peace and happiness, or even to defend yourself against attackers, then all you've got to do is press the subscribe button and you'll never miss another lesson. Now in today's video lesson, I've got something very special for you. Because the whole pattern of Fair Lady Works Shuttles is so complex, we're actually going to take a look at the movement from overhead, an aerial view of this four corners movement. And I'm going to simplify what the hands are doing in this movement. All that's coming up right after this. Now, one of the things that a lot of beginning students struggle with in the Fair Lady Works Shuttles is the fact that there's so much going on all at one time that bits and pieces begin to get lost. In particular, like what are the hands actually doing? You're focusing so much on getting the feet in the right direction, sometimes stepping blindly behind you that, it seems like there's maybe too much and that you're missing something. So I want to see if I can simplify this. In essence, we have two hands doing very specific things. We have one hand in a ward-off position, which is sweeping out in front of the body and lifting overhead. This is just like crane spreads wings, right? When it came out, warded off in front, kept on rising, rotating the palm at the very end so that the final position, it was arched in front of the forehead with the palm turned out. And that's exactly what we have in Fair Lady. The other hand is doing something so similar to brush knee. It starts back here by the body and then presses forward, finally turning the palm out at the very end like a push. Actually, in a way, this is more similar to turn and chop with fist than it is brush knee. But in the final position, you almost got the same thing. So here's brush knee, here's Fair Lady. You see, they're very, very similar. So to prepare for this push, the hand that's doing the push first comes into the body. Now, notice that the elbow is not winged out behind, it's dropped down and the fingertips are sort of angling upwards. And then as the body turns, the whole arm extends out. Those two movements combined are all that the hands do. Everything else is just getting into a preparatory position. So from, let's say, the end of the first Fair Lady, when you push down, all that you're doing is getting the hands ready for this. So here's how they do it. They essentially make a big circle, like circling around the platter, as we say. Scooping underneath. Now the hand that scoops underneath is going to be the hand that wards off overhead, right? So I've scooped underneath. Let's just take this hand away. It's going to open out, ward off overhead, palm out at the end. The other hand will withdraw into the chest and then extend forward, right? So you've circled around the platter, scooped underneath, drawn into the chest, extended forward. Now, if we put those two together, here was the end of the first Fair Lady, press down, circle around the platter, scoop underneath, withdraw into the chest, press forward. If we did the other side, the same thing would be happening, right? Here I am at the Fair Lady on this side. I press down, circle around the platter. There's no platter, I'm just making that up, right? Circle underneath, ward off as one hand comes into the body, and press forward. All right, so that simplifies the hands on either side. All four corners work the same way. So just think about scooping, warding off, pushing, and we can add other layers later. Now let's take a look at that footwork, but we're going to do it from the bird's eye view. I'm starting off on a grid so that you can see how I step into each corner. Actually, it's not so much stepping into the corner as winding up pushing into the corner. Now the first step, as you can see, is 135 degrees. And a left foot step, push. Now the second Fair Lady is a 270-degree turn. So I turn all the way around, then step backwards along the line. This is just like slanted flying, leaving myself enough of a channel to push to the corner. Sit back again. Now the third one is easy, it's just 90 degrees. So watch that right foot, see how I reposition that right foot? Scoop under with the left hand. Lift overhead and push with the right into the corner. And then finally, the last step is another 270. So here's that hand pattern we talked about. Circling around the bladder, scooping under. Then I step behind. And as I turn around, I leave myself enough of a channel to push into the corner. Now let's take a look at today's movement. You sit back and turn to the left. Now very carefully again, watch that right foot turning in. The hands have circled around and the left hand scoops under the right arm, left foot steps in the corner. Withdraw the right hand, then push. It's been a while since I talked about this in our video lessons, but the way that I have taught for many, many years is to teach in what I call layers. There's always a primary layer of here, just what does the hands do basically, and what do the feet do basically? How does the body turn in its most fundamental and easy version? And then you can come back later and add another layer of complexity or nuance or detail. And so sometimes you can get really wrapped up in all the different pieces of a movement and make it more complicated than it needs to be. So we stick with layers because you've got your entire life to perfect and master your Tai Chi practice. If you've got a question about any of the movements, if you'd like to go back and break down a movement and make it simpler, please let me know. I'd love to know, maybe even about movements that we haven't done in this routine. If you've been a Tai Chi student before and you've done other routines and you want a simplified way or a higher layer way of doing the movement, let me know. Just write it down in the comments section below there, and I'd be delighted to bring it into one of our video lessons. All right, there we have it. Another lesson completed. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please go down and hit that thumbs up like button. That actually really helps out a lot. And just to be really clear with you guys about why that's so important is, you know, I'm on a mission to create the most comprehensive library of Tai Chi lessons and resources on the internet. And what YouTube does is let other people know that we're on this project. And the way it does this is by saying, well, are these videos any good? Do people like them? So if you like them and you hit the thumbs up, it tells me that you liked it, but it also tells YouTube that you liked it. And that's the way that we meet new people. Anyway, and by the way, if this is your first time at this channel, first of all, thank you for following on. This was a difficult lesson for a lot of people. But if you are now thinking to yourself, yes, I could learn Tai Chi at home, especially if I work with this guy, then all you have to do is hit the subscribe button. And there's a lot more lessons where this one came from. In fact, in tomorrow's video, we're going to cover the final leg of Fair Lady Works Shuttles, and we'll complete the whole routine and be on to the next movement, movement number 63. So be sure you don't miss tomorrow's lesson. Also, tomorrow is Thursday, which we have the Master Skills Tip of the Week, so don't want to miss that. And finally, last but not least, I just want to say thank you to people who have subscribed before and who've been loyal followers of this series. I'm really hoping you're getting a lot out of it, and I appreciate your comments and your questions and also just your support. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share my Tai Chi with you. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to doing so much more with us. All right, have a wonderful afternoon, a great evening, and a good morning tomorrow, and I'll see you in the next lesson.